How's it going, guys? It's your boy, Lieutenant Dan, back for the first time in a very, very long time. I want to say thank you to anyone who is currently watching this video. It's been a minute, and it's time for me to go back to this type of content. Stuff that you guys have tuned in and subscribed to this channel for. And I want to say thank you to those who are still loyal and still subscribed, and to those who are just coming through and rechecking us out or hitting us up for the first time. This is going to be a new thing. This is going to be a film discussion. Something to kind of touch on as we go. Not necessarily a breakdown, but, and we will do those, but more of a narration, a discussion, if you will, a back and forth between individual thoughts on a particular subject. And today's subject is Desmond Ritter and his game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are more or less really, honestly, the only game that is used by the pro Ritter crowd, specifically, for plays like this where he's throwing to Drake London, but, not the other, what has it been, 1 minute of film that has basically gone by up to this point where he has not been able to hit his targets or not, seen guys where he needs to see them. And yes, he's still going against the Buccaneers' staunch defense, but there's so much that he needs to learn. And this is also used by the, nega Ritter, the anti-Ritter, the dark Ritter continent. I think that there is truth, especially on plays like this right here where, you have an option come open in the back of the end zone, or on like the last play where, if he had waited a moment longer without pressure in his face, there's a guy wide open right in the middle of the field. There's a lot of work that needs to happen for Desmond Ritter, and they were the issues that people talked about during the NFL draft. And, by and large, the issues that I think got him into the third round. But also in that same vein, this is the only, tape that we can actually use to get a good understanding of what Desmond Ritter is, because this is the most mature, the latest game, and the last game that Desmond Ritter played last season, which was the last game the Atlanta Falcons played. He played 3 games prior to this. And so this is really the only thing we really can have a grasp on, positively or negatively, about Desmond Ritter. The only real film that we can kind of judge, because everything else is Desmond Ritter, the rookie, fresh guy, whereas this is the most mature that you're going to see Ritter up to this point until we see something in September. And yes, the inaccuracy issues are there. They just doesn't have it. But you see good things, like throws to Drake London, or runs like this where the pocket is collapsed and he does pull up a couple of yards. He is kind of difficult to take down because Desmond is a big and long boy. And, when you have a fully mature giraffe. No, but seriously, Desmond Ritter, he has awareness issues. He has, an inaccuracy about his throw. And those are all aspects of his game that landed him where he was landed. But I don't think we have enough to judge him specifically after 4 games for any specific reason. I mean, you look at Desmond Ritter and how he's playing in this game, almost 5 minutes into a video, and you understand this is just him going through the systematic care of this offense. And yes, there are some plays that, Desmond Ritter's going to take it into his own hands. Like, for instance, just so happens, this particular play, where Desmond Ritter says, heck it, I'm taking off down the field because I've got so much pressure in my face. I've got to make something happen. And so there is a maturity and I wouldn't even say ego, but there is something there of a fire that Desmond Ritter is showing, that the connection with Drake London and most likely soon to be Kyle Pitts has kind of created a bubble around Desmond Ritter that he can show off a little bit if given the opportunity, but he has to fix the staples of him being a quarterback. And that's the thing I think we'll all get into. I mean, he's got that, that nature of being able to stand in the pocket and take a hit, but plays like this are more, Tyler Algier can't hold up to a guy and Desmond Ritter almost dies. So when you actually start looking at the tape for what it is, you go, oh, well, maybe there's a lot to, kind of work on. When this kind of play is utilized in the arsenal of Arthur Smith, and you go, I don't know if maybe this is the right thing for Desmond Ritter to do, from a pro-Ritter standpoint, but from a anti-Ritter standpoint, you go, I'm going to judge him on a speed option, when the reality is, this is not Desmond Ritter's game. They're literally running through the motions here in the final game of the season, and the little things need to be tightened up, and you can see it throughout the whole tape. That's not to bash on Desmond Ritter and say that he can't make throws, as if right on time you get throws like this. That's not to say that Desmond Ritter, when the play is done right, unlike there, where the running back isn't even there to receive that fake handoff or that play action. But when told to go through the motions, Desmond Ritter can make the throws. Desmond Ritter can get the ball to a spot. Desmond Ritter knows where to throw it and how timely to throw it. But it seems to be more of the short to intermediate passes. It's not the long stuff. It's not the super down the field stuff. And I think on top of that, plays like this, had he taken a sack here, plays like this show that maturity and confidence, but also that, I wouldn't even say childlike nature, but that love and thrill of the game, to know that you can make this play happen if you step in and out of the pocket. That there shows that Desmond Ritter has some intangibles, some unexplained things that, if coupled together with the proper stuff, like passes like this, think of Bijan Robinson being there and taking that catch. That creates a dynamic that those small little things that Desmond Ritter does do right could create major gains if put in the hands of the right people and the right person. But to get the extra, to make it really all come together, you're not going to be able to screen pass 40 times a game. You're not going to be able to dink and dunk. I understand Tom Brady can do this, that the legends of the NFL have done it since the dawn of time, since the invention of the pass, the dink and dunk offense, West Coast, since its inception. But passes like this in the back of the end zone, whether it's back shoulder or comeback or whatever it may be, these types of passes have to be in spots where his wide receiver can catch it. And the deep part of the game has to become the vision. Later and later and later and later in this game gets better and better and better, but there's still so much to work on. It comes and it goes, it ebbs and flows in and out of Desmond Ritter as if it's just something that needs to be caught, but is like soap in his hands that he can't catch. There's a lot of plays in this that are mind-boggling, where you go, if the touch was there, if he just was able to put it in the right destination, if the offensive line had not broken down, if. But in reality, we know that horseshoes and hand grenades, these plays have to be executed, and Desmond Ritter has to do so much better. It's not if, it's when. It's when it's going to happen this coming season. It's when it's going to happen, maybe even in the season to follow, based on, the good out of this tape and the fact that they have given him the reins. Talk about the media as a massive kind of spearhead to the quote-unquote anti-Ritter rhetoric. Try to say that 5 times fast, but passes like this are not shown by the media. And they continue to harp on the Mariota situation and the Matt Ryan and the Lamar is not there and the and the Falcons are idiots for this and that. You see passes like this and you go, listen. These are NFL quality passes. Speak on your own terms as a fan or a podcaster or a commentator, but don't lie to me when the film is right here. That the throws can be made and there is issue with his game, but this offense plays into what he's capable of doing. This offense is completely user-friendly, and the arrival of Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson, for that matter, as well, with the addition of Bergeron at left guard, potentially makes this offense completely and utterly safe for a guy like Desmond Ritter to be able to play in. And all it will take is Desmond Ritter taking that next step, making the easy passes, not trying to force things into areas where it shouldn't be, taking calculated risks when need be. That maturity that he so-called has, heads above shoulders of most quarterbacks, that needs to be turned into wisdom and knowledge. The only way you get that is to gain experience, and you don't do things like this. You just have utmost familiarity with what you're doing. This is 4 games into a season as a rookie, making the throws that are commanded of him, that are asked of him from the short, but not able to connect on the deep where he needs to truly put things. And talk about string 1, string 2, string 3, whatever it may be, but Desmond Ritter making any kind of throws in here and still not throwing an interception tells you that he's going to put the ball in places, and it's either going to get caught by his teammates or it's not. That's just most likely how it goes. The most worried I have, the biggest worry that I have, I don't know why I was saying that. I'm not even going to cut out of the video. The biggest thing that I worry about with Desmond Ritter is just ball security. That's the only thing, because of his ability to just want to stay in that pocket, throw first before running. He will need to learn when to run, because he's not that type of guy. He is not Michael Vick. He is not, Lamar Jackson. He's not this, that, and the third. But he does have the wheels to be able to take it a few yards. So for me, looking at the team as a whole, looking at what Desmond Ritter can do, just ask to do the simple stuff. If he has found out how to do that as a whole, there's only, the sky as a limit for what Desmond Ritter can do. It's just these types of things he's going to have to do better. Thank you so much for listening to this little video and watching some of this film and getting an opportunity to see some of this. And I thank, all of the people that made this possible and all the people who have supported me and driven me to do this. I love doing this for you guys, and I hope to see you again soon. Rise up and stay grounded. Peace, and hair grease.